Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of The Lobby, the pre-HGC show run twice weekly to wrap up previous results and preview the upcoming HGC ANZ matches. Tonight's guest is HOT's commentator, Kitfox. Kitfox, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for being here.
It's an absolute pleasure, Blank. Thank you so much for having me. Sorry about that one, ladies and gents, but yes, pleasure to be here. GL Phoenix did a fantastic job the other night, and I'll tell you what, how about the first night of Premier Division in the ANZ region? Almost 2,600 viewers for our opening night, and seriously, it's touched me. It has. I mean, that to go from 30 viewers 2 years ago to 2.6k it's moving. It's moving, Blank.
Yes, that's definitely right. It was a massive night. As you said, almost 2,600 viewers. It was phenomenal. And we want to quickly just thank everyone. The viewers, most importantly, you guys are the reason we do this. The reason that the production team put all this stuff together and host the shows and host the ANZ HGC. It's fantastic, right? You watching has made it where it is now. The teams, the players, if they weren't playing, then they wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have a show to actually put up. Production team, Chris, has been doing a fantastic job on the HGC. I can't fault him. The commentators, I mean, Kitfox, you actually got to do the first night, the premiere night.
Yep.
And it was phenomenal. You and Skimmy had so much energy. Tell me, what were your feelings and emotions going in the night, during the night?
Well, as the night started out, we thought it would be pretty standard, 200 to 300 viewers that we were getting last year. We were, of course, hoping to improve on that. And it was only this season that, I've been saying it, and discussing it with Chris for a while, we need to get Blizzard involved. And they did. And as soon as they did, HOTS has just hit the ground running. I mean, to go from, like I said, 30 viewers to 2.6k is huge. And the first night, as the night went on, we thought it was going to be normal, and then I saw the counters going up in our chat, and as that slowly started going up, checked in after the first game, and I was like, no way, I just couldn't believe it. And then that just sort of ignited a fire just in the belly, and then I think it did for Skimmy too, because that second series of games between Crimson and Aztec was huge.
Yeah, I mean, we actually outdid HGC China for viewers. At one point, we were at 2.5 something, and they were at 1.3, nearly doubling them.
How about that? How about that?
And that's on the official Blizzard HGC channel. What?
ANZ Major Region when? When's this going to happen? I know, right? I think those numbers just say China might be making a little bit of a room very, very shortly now. All in jest, but how good would that be to go from minor to major in that short space of time? And why wouldn't you? I mean, people look at statistics to make decisions nowadays, and I tell you what, that first night, it's definitely, it's come out with cannonballs. It's huge.
Yeah, well, moving right along, we'll jump to the next topic because we've only got half an hour, and then we've actually got tonight's games over at Blizzard_ANZ. Kitfox, you actually got to cast them. Let's have a quick chat and highlight some of the opening night matches. The first match that was up that was on screen was Nomia versus Outlaws. Yes, we did have that last minute schedule change, which we won't go into, which may have caused some of the issues with Outlaws' performance, but needless to say, Nomia did well, right?
Nomia did well, but I honestly don't think that had anything to do with Outlaws' performance. I mean, you went up against Nomia. You should have been preparing for Nomia. Nomia are the elite team. That should be the benchmark. There's no excuse saying, oh, we were scrimming and preparing for another team. You should be researching all the teams. This is Premier Division. This is not, some schoolyard tournament. You have to be 100% switched on. You need to be having statistics and analysis, watching your replays of everybody. I mean, you can watch Fat 94 stream. You can get a good eyesight into his gameplay. I mean, the preparation, I think you could argue, wasn't there because they were caught a little bit off guard. Yes, but it should have been at least a little bit there to begin with. So Nomiya, I mean, they came out like a phoenix from the ashes. They were questionable coming into this tournament. They looked a little bit shaky in the previous tournaments leading up to this one, and that was just because they didn't have their gel. They were a pizza without cheese. Once the cheese was on top, and they got a couple scrims under their belt, they gelled together, and it was like the Nomiya of old, wasn't it? I mean, no quarter.
Yeah, well, we did talk about last episode that they spent the several weeks boot camping leading up to this. We talked about how we hadn't seen much of them. That's because they were working really hard. They were getting better and better and better, and that led them to that. If we quickly have a look up to my left, yes, that's my left-hand side. We've got a TV up on the screen there, guys, and that's got the current, the previous game's results. So if you have a look at that, that shows what actually occurred throughout the night. Nomiya beating Outlaws. The second game, we didn't actually stream it, was GG Go Next versus Downfall. What was your thoughts seeing the results after the fact?
I mean, the GG Go Next, they're a good side. I mean, they're definitely one to keep your eye on. I mean, like we said, they're the Cinderella story. I mean, they were the team. Yeah, they were abandoned by their org, their captain, their coach, their everything. And I mean, to play the way they did was great.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I have to correct myself because it's not GG Go Next anymore. It is Aztec. They were picked up on the night. We haven't actually updated our graphics yet, so apologies for that. Ignore the name on the TV screen. That being said, I'm going to get out of HOTS because apparently I'm in HOTS. That's not good. What are we doing in HOTS? We're trying to run a show here, guys.
Waiting with bated breath. Games are later, Blank. Come on, man.
Oh, I'm
go
sorry.
Time. It's crunch time. Crunch time.
So game number 2, GG Go Next versus Downfall. Aztec lost that one to Downfall. I personally didn't predict it. I believe that you predicted them to do a little bit better.
To do better, yeah. But like I said, they still played well. They were caught a little bit. Like I said, they were rattled before this tournament, and going down to Downfall, I didn't predict it, but they put up a good show. It wasn't a stomping. That's what you like to see. And then again, when we saw them against Crimson, that first match on Battlefield of Eternity was a very seesaw game. I could count at least 5 times when the lead switched in that match.
Yeah, you're right. It was a really good game to watch, and that was the third game we were going to quickly talk about. It was the Crimson versus GG Next. I am impressed with how much. I don't know what how much. I don't even know the word I'm thinking of, Kitfox. How well they did compared to Crimson, considering that I personally had Crimson as my #1 team for the season.
So did I.
Yeah, I didn't. Yep. I didn't think they would have put up as much of a fight as they did. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think Crimson had the cobwebs. I think they had the first round jitters, and you could see that in the way that their game evolved from Battlefield of Eternity to Sky Temple, and the way that they, instead of playing reactive gameplay, they started playing proactively. They were taking the camps early on. They were setting it up. Their timing was impeccable to get, the correct camps into the correct lanes and then work those shrines. So they started to work a little bit better as a unit in that second game. The first one was shaky, but hey, look, you take a win, right? I mean, even if the Immortal gets baited off the core onto the gate in the mid lane,
how does that even happen? What? You can't it's not like the Punisher in Infernal Shrines where you can bait it to another area and bait it to a keep or a fort or something. It goes in a straight line.
I don't know, but look, I've seen this game do some weird things sometimes. The sappers on Towers of Doom?
Yeah.
How they're supposed to go around the long way to get into the lane. I've seen them actually take the right-hand side into the quick way into the lane as well, with no pressure, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on there? Like, the game does weird things sometimes, but hey, that's HOTS. Like, that's why we love it. That's why we sit in ANZ chat and meme it up. It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. We'll quickly finish up with the games from last Tuesday night. Let's pick ourselves some MVPs, players who stood out in the games. Nomi versus Outlaws, Kitfox. Who was your player of the game?
I liked John, as in Fat 94 John. John played well. John played fantastic. But John, Fat 94 John, fix the name, man. What are you doing? Like, come on, man. He played great. I really liked his Hanzo on the Battlefield of Eternity. He loves his scatter arrow build.
Yeah.
And that's what he's been known for. I mean, all of the recent heroes that have come into the game as they've been released have almost forced themselves into the meta. And you know what? I like that, because who likes the same old meta?
Oh, yeah.
Every time. Having said that, though, we had 2 Battlefield of Eternities, 2 Sky Temples, Malfurion picked 3 times out of 4 first pick. We had Maeve banned, Blaze banned as well, and I'm like, I was saying I like variety and meta shakeups. Like, that first week was pretty vanilla. Yeah.
Pretty stock standard, you might say.
Yes, yeah. He wasn't even in the chat.
I know,
man. Like,
it's all good. It's all good. The game that we didn't see, we can't really call. Rich Gang, sorry, not Rich Gang. Aztec versus Downfall, we can't really talk on who was the standout player. We haven't seen those games yet. We are hoping to have a look at some of the replays perhaps, but we'll look at that in the future. But the Crimson versus Aztec game, player of the match, what's your thoughts?
That's a really tough one, because everybody really kind of stood out on the side of Crimson, especially in that second game. I mean, like I said, they were a unit. There wasn't really a standout, but I mean, you really just can't go past KVA on that front line, can you? Like, as the main tank, he is an absolute bully, an absolute presence. And look, for me, he leads that team with precision. I believe he's the shot caller as well. So that's definitely not something to turn your nose up at. So he would definitely be that one for me. But I mean, Outlaws played great as well.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them had you could argue they had a little bit of a rough game. Their preparation was a little bit off, whatever. But, you know, sorry, no, I'm thinking of
the other game.
The other game. My bad. Sorry, GG go next.
Yeah.
GG go. See, Aztec Gaming. Sorry about that. Look, they had a shaky lead up. They had, like I said, they were abandoned by everybody. They didn't even know if they were going to compete this season. So to have such little preparation and to play as well as they did, they are going to go places, and they just need to stick at it. And now that they have Aztec Gaming behind them, Aztec Entertainment behind them, I think they're going to be able to do that. They've got that stability around them that they're able to build on from there. And with the support, they'll be able to improve themselves week in, week out. I mean, there's 9 weeks of this plan.
Yeah,
there's
I know.
Plenty of time.
There is plenty of time for them to grow and to develop, and we're hoping that they do. I really want to see them go far. They are, as you mentioned, the Cinderella story of the tournament. Aztec Gaming, they not only went in with very little preparation with all of that drama, the week beforehand, they were still trying to replace players, because after Hacky and trying to replace the sub that Bounty Knight was filling, they lost Deceptive, and they had to replace not only Hacky but him. So they were still doing trials and stuff like that with other players the week leading up to the tournament. So for them to come in and put up as much of a fight as they did against Crimson, I think that they did really well.
Yeah, look, that's exactly what I was saying. I mean, I have to agree 100%. Like, to be so shaken and to literally have not zero prep, but nowhere near as much prep as, say, Nomia, who were boot camping, or Outlaws who've been scrimming constantly. And I mean, Panda's been doing a fantastic job. You see her constantly on the Discords and in the chats, organising scrims for the boys and actually making it happen. So that is why we now see, I think if we can get the official numbers from maybe Avexium or somebody like that listening in, how many orgs have dipped their toes into the hotspot at the moment. And it's not just the Premier Division, Blake.
No, it's not. It's the Open Division as well. We've got Ripple Esports, who have picked up previously Deathwing Reign Supreme, I believe their name was. So yeah, that will be good to see. I'm really looking forward to see how they.
I was really hoping they would stay DRS, to be honest with you. I would have had so much fun with that. Yeah, let's rock and roll that one, Kumar. Like, it would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
Just opportunities missed, but congratulations.
Yes, massive congratulations to an Open Division team, especially an Onyx team, getting picked up by an org. We've only got 3 teams left in Premier Division, Kitfox, that are yet to pick up sponsors. Neko Mimi, QM Warriors, and Nomi themselves.
I
Otherwise,
think,
yeah.
yeah, I was going to say, I think Nomia have said that they don't actually want a sponsor or an org. They are just happy to do it themselves. But having said that, I mean, there was a team in Paladins that did something very similar to that. You might have heard of them, perhaps. Their name's Kanga Esports. You know, the best Paladins team this region and, you know, dare say the world has to offer. They decided to go play a run, but did it professionally, did it themselves. They marketed, you know, and they promoted and everything that you needed to do. So look, Nomia, having played the way that they played on Tuesday night, like people are going to be sending them offers for that. You know, you have got to market yourselves. You can turn yourselves into so much more than just a great team. Yeah. And I hope they learn something from that, having seen all these orgs come into play.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. And orgs in the scene are a great thing for everyone. A great thing for us, great thing for the players, great thing for the teams, and great thing for the scene. Moving on, we have only got 13 minutes left, Kitfox, until tonight's games start. I'm going to pull them up on the little TV screen up here now for you so you can see who is coming up next. First game for the night is going to be Crimson versus Rich Gang. Is that correct? That's the first game you guys are casting, yes?
I am not actually.
Not you, but
Disco and GLP will be rocking the mic, and that is no B grade talent at all. That is going to be so good. So can't wait to see Daddy and GLP doing that one. But I'm just going to have a quick look at my notes just to make sure that we have got the correct game coming up. Yeah, it's going to be Rich Gang in Downfall. I believe is going to be the first game on stream, according to my notes. Unless we've had another schedule change, a little bit quick.
No, I'm pretty sure the Rich Gang vs Downfall is the one. That's fine. One player, Kitfox, one player that will have a big game or a big impact. I mean, we haven't seen Rich Gang yet. Rich Gang have not played. No, Rich Gang have not played yet in Premier. Downfall have. They beat Aztec. So, what are your thoughts coming into this?
I'm looking at the team lists, and there's a lot of players to watch here. I mean, Fesh stands out to me on Rich Gang E-Thugs, you know, coming over from League. But I'm having a look at Downfall as well. Magic Gnome has been grinding. He's been grinding hard. So keep your eye out for him on the side of Downfall. I mean, Konya, everybody loves Konya. I mean, he's like the guy, he's like the third grade cricketer that just turns up 5 minutes before the game's supposed to start and just absolutely kills it. Like, that's how good of a player he is. So expect a surprise packet from him. But yeah, Downfall, I'm going to have to go Magic Gnome. And on Rich Gang, I think Fesh. Fesh has something to prove. I mean, being in the Premier Division, this is where he wants to be. You know, this is the spot. So hopefully they can get there.
Yeah, I think that my graphic is wrong. Just apologies there, team. I just realised that it might still have the previous before the schedule change, so I'll have to get that fixed before next show. But don't worry, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? It looks pretty cool on the TV anyway, even if it's wrong. So yes, yeah, it is Rich Gang versus Downfall. Sorry, and thank you, Morton, for chiming in there with that. It is Rich Gang versus Downfall, and then Nico Mimi will be playing up against QM Warriors for the second game. What are your thoughts on that second game, Kevin?
Well, first of all, I'd like to see a little bit more map variety. I mean, we had 4 rounds and 2 maps. Let's shake it up a little bit, you know. Neko Mimi and QM Warriors. I mean, QM Warriors came out of nowhere. I mean, but Value. Now, I actually had the privilege of playing with Value the other night, a couple of weeks ago, actually, in the Unreal Aussies random night on the Mondays, which was great. And I highly recommend everybody get involved with that one. But Value is a fantastic shot caller. He doesn't shut up, but he is great at the game. He would be a fantastic bagpipe player. Let's just say that. He's got lungs of steel, but he knows the game inside out, which is something I can't say for a lot of people. I mean, I've met him 2 times, and already his game knowledge is broader than anybody I know. So Value on the side of QM Warriors, I definitely think you should keep your eye out for. But how about how about Stumpy on the side of Neko Mimi?
Oh, Stumpy is one of those e-grills that is very popular in the ANZ scene. She's very well known for her art. She actually made my logo that's just underneath me here. And as well as that, she's done a couple of logos up for some of the teams, which look phenomenal. And her Nico Mimi logo, I need to grab a copy of that, and I'll have that next time. I'll have all the logos next time, actually. They'll look amazing. But yeah, so she's a great player. Something to note about Neko Mimi, though, they are one of the other teams that aren't actually looking to do any sponsorship sort of agreements at the moment.
Okay.
They've told me that they're not actually looking for a sponsor, which is probably not a bad thing, considering there's a little bit of fluctuality in their players. You've got Quality, who is their main support for the previous games they've played and preseason, who's actually dropped. He's not playing for Nekomimi at all anymore.
Okay. Do you know any reasoning behind that at all? Was it a decision made by the team, by himself? Got the goss?
I have goss. I haven't got all the answers, unfortunately. I think that he just doesn't want to play competitive anymore, from what I can tell. So he's just said he doesn't want to play competitive, which is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like nothing at all. I mean, we've seen a couple pro players retire recently around the scene, like not to get back to Paladins again, but Josh Ken, he retired. And, you know, the community will miss him. And I'm sure the same with Quality. Well, yeah, I'm sure Quality will still be lurking around the Hero League.
He'll be missed.
When he's not silenced in the chat, like I'm pretty sure he is now. So shout out to Quality, we'll miss you. But yeah, I mean, Neko Mimi and QM Warriors, that'll be the game of the night, I reckon. Rich Gang and Downfall will be good, because Downfall, like you said, picked up that win over Aztec.
Yeah.
But Neko Mimi and QM Warriors, I don't know about your predictions, but I've actually got them down as the 7 and 8 of the I believe I have them as 7 and 8 of the predictions.
Well, what we can quickly, I can quickly throw that up there. I've got the power rankings, which we can chuck on the screen now. That is accurate, except for mine, because mine aren't up there. But Kitfox, interesting to note, you actually gave Outlaws 6th place.
I knew this was going to come up. You're stitching me up. This is 60 minutes, isn't it?
There's been a lot of flame going around in the chats about the fact that they saw the power rankings from Tuesday night, and they were, Tuesday night, and they were interested to know, Kitfox, why would you give Outlaws 6th place?
I just think they've actually got a lot to prove. I mean, you saw the way that they played against Nomiya on Tuesday night. That does not look like a top 4 team to me at all. So, like I said, I told them to impress me. There's no bad blood there at all. I think, like I said, Panda does a great management job. Coffee's great. He's a fantastic Junkrat, and everybody on that team is good. But their personal power rankings, and let's be honest, a little bit of spice is good for chatter.
Oh, of course.
But they, like I said, they need to impress me. And Tuesday night, I'll be honest, it really didn't impress me at all. But that's because Nomiya are a top-class team. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how Outlaws play on stream next time, and then we'll get a better understanding of where they sit. I mean, these predictions, they change. We're going to be doing them weekly. Yeah. So there is room to move. And I want to see Outlaws up there in top 2 or 3 by the end of the season.
But then for me after Tuesday night's performance, you're thinking no longer a 6, they're probably more of a 7. Is that right?
No, not at all. I don't think that they're worse than Nekomimi or QM Warriors. But having said that, we'll be able to tell again by the way those two teams play off against each other tonight. That will be the best opportunity that everybody has to see their skill, because they're not going to be pantsed by a top team. Yeah. They're actually going to be able to knuckle down against each other, lock horns, and that's where the excitement is going to drop. So, like I said, expect Disco and GLP to absolutely nail it.
Oh, yeah. We haven't got much longer left. We've only got 5 minutes, so we're going to start wrapping up. Before we do, let's have a quick look at the current standings and chucking them up on the TV screen for you guys now. This is the current standings for the league as it is right now. Nomiya with 1 game played, 1 win, 0 losses. Crimson and Downfall also with 1 game played and 1 win. GGO next and Outlaws being the 2 teams recipient of the losses. Aztec Entertainment went 2-0 for the night, unfortunately for them. I'm really hoping to see more for them. Did you well, this is pretty much what you saw coming anyway, wasn't it, Kitfox?
What was that one? Sorry, what did we see?
This is the wins and losses as they stand at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty, like we said, stock standard. But there was one surprise, and we did touch on it a little bit, which was the Aztec Downfall game.
Yeah.
So Downfall, I think, might slightly be favourites tonight against their opponents. So let's see how it plays out. I mean, it's going to be one hell of a night, Blank, and like I'm just waiting here. I've got my popcorn ready. I've actually got some ice creams in the fridge that I bought for this special occasion. I can take a back seat tonight and watch the boys and girls, of course, do their thing. Vandy's doing her thing over in Katowice.
Yes.
Very, very soon. So congratulations, Vandy. It's all looking up for Corey at the moment. But hey, there's so much hot action going on. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as well. Saturday, Western Clash. I mean, I'm drooling, Blank. I'm drooling.
It's just a massive week of hots, really. Like you've got Monday nights Heroes Untapped on Disconcur's channel. On Tuesday nights, we've got obviously the lobby, which will be running every Tuesday and Thursday night before the HGC, and then followed up by straight afterwards, 7:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time at the HGC itself, running through the night. Wednesday nights is Open Division on Gamester TV 1, and Thursday nights we've got the lobby and then HGC again. So much hot wrapped up into that first 4 nights, and then we've got the Western Clash as well. What? Kitfox?
Buckle up.
What?
Just buckle up. Strap yourselves in. You're going to get fat over the weekend. And hey, that is all right because... actually, you might lose a bit of weight because it's going to be sweaty. So get amongst it.
Sweaty.
Get amongst it. It's taken over, man. Heroes Esports is a thing. And I tell you what, ANZ, major region, make it happen.
Major region. What's that saying? Dead game, casual MOBA? Don't think so, everyone. We have some fire underneath us. So fire it up. Get ready for the games over at Blizzard_ANZ. That'll be up next. Kitfox, thank you very much for joining us tonight on the show. You have been an absolute legend. Thank you for coming. I would love to see you on some later episodes as well. We can touch on whether you still think Outlaws are a 6.
Yeah, we'll recoup later in the year. Let's put a pin in this one, and we'll revisit this one later in the year. Like we said, it's going to be one hell of a ride. 9 weeks, every Tuesday and Thursday for the Premier Division. Wednesday nights, we've got the Open Division and Blank, the lobby. Tell you what, I'm enjoying myself. Thank you so much for having me.
No problems at all. Also, massive shout out to Gamester producing the HGC, www.gamester.com. Please check out our content on YouTube and Twitch, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. I'll be getting some links for that shortly. I didn't even think about links. Why do I not have links? We can just post them in Twitch chat. Yes. The Calm Before the Clash, it's a weekly series of videos in both English and Spanish, highlighting results and stories of interest from both ANZ and Copa America leading up to the Intercontinental Clash. That's hosted by our very own Vandy and Carolina doing the Spanish for us. Lastly, but not leastly, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making this a massive success. HGC, Heroes of the Storm, ANZ would not be as big as it is without you. Is that not right, Kitfox?
Yep, get amongst it. It's going to be absolutely monstrous. Can't wait.
But right now, we are going to go straight over to the Blizzard ANZ channel. And please jump over. We'll post a link in the chat. Blizzard_ANZ on Twitch. It's going to be some fantastic games tonight. Thank you all for being here. And we'll see you in the Nexus.